For this video tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to create this Polaroid mosaic effect that you see here using only one picture. Let's get started. So I'm working here in Photoshop CS5, but you can use earlier versions as well. I'm going to start off by opening up the image that I'm going to work on. Next, I'm going to click on the Add a New Layer icon in the lower right hand corner, and I'm going to click on G for the paint bucket tool. If you don't have the paint bucket tool, you can just hold down Shift and click G to cycle between the two tools, either the paint bucket or the gradient tool. And I'm also going to click on D to reset the color. So I'm going to make sure that black is the foreground color, and I'm going to click to fill it with black. Now I'm going to add a brand new layer once again, and I'm going to go and grab the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm just going to drag out a box like so. Next, I'm going to click on X to switch the colors, make sure that white is the foreground color. I'm going to click on G for the paint bucket tool, and I'm just going to click to fill it with white, and then Control D to deselect. Next, I'm going to add yet another layer, and I'm going to go back to the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to draw out a smaller shape. Let's say like so. And I'm going to click on X once again to switch the colors, the G for the paint bucket tool, and we'll fill the sky with black, and Control D. So you can see this is going to be our Polaroid picture frame that we're going to use for the effect. I'm going to go back to layer 2, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to double click on the right hand edge, and we're going to add a drop shadow. I'm going to click on drop shadow, and it's going to lower the opacity to maybe around 34, and we'll just change the angle to, let's say, 131 in my case, and I'm going to click OK. Okay, next step, I'm going to go back to the original background layer, the one that has the picture in it. I'm going to click on Control J to duplicate, and I'm going to grab the copy, and I'm going to drag it all the way on top like so. Next, if you just hold down the Alt modifier key and you hover in between the two layers, you'll see it'll change, and if you click, you'll essentially create a clipping mask, and that's exactly what you want to do. Alternatively, you can just click on the arrow and click on well, we can release clipping mask to see how it works. Click on the arrow and create clipping masks. It does the same thing. Now what I want to do is duplicate what we just did in order to replicate the Polaroid effect. The simplest thing to do right now would be to group these layers into one group. So I'm going to click on the first layer, I'm going to hold Shift and Control click on the last layer, and I'm just going to go in the arrow and click on New Group, and we'll just click OK. Oops, actually we chose the wrong command. Let me just click Control Z to go back to where we were before, and I'm going to go back here, and it should be New Group from Layers. Click OK, and there we go. So now we have the first Polaroid frame in its own group, and we can easily duplicate the groups in order to create more frames. So that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to right click on Group 1 and duplicate group, and click OK. And if I just open it up, and if I just highlight the two black and white box layers, I'm going to make sure V is selected for the Move tool, and if you just see what happens here, we can create another Polaroid just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the group once more. Click OK, and I'm going to open this guy up, highlight the two layers, and make sure that V is selected for the Move tool, and just move them. That's why we move this guy over here on top, and we'll repeat the process a few times. Duplicate group, OK, and we'll move this guy over here, and duplicate group once again. Oops. Do it like this. And oops, a couple of more times here. Duplicate group, You can start seeing what the little shadow effect that we applied earlier is doing. And one last time, duplicate group. Okay.